Hey everyone, and welcome to the first episode of 2018 of the Ask Jeff Show. We are on episode number 39. And as you would guess, I've been getting a lot of questions about the new year, about planning, about goal setting. So that's what we're going to cover. The first thing we're going to talk about is the proper way to set goals. So I'm not a huge fan of goals. More of a fan of taking action, and I'll explain what that means in a minute. One of the questions that I saw going around a lot was like, is it better to have really big goals and just go for it, or to have like smaller milestone type goals with baby steps? And the way that I look at it is you have to break your goals up, into, your vision, maybe for the year or for the quarter or for the next 6 months, and then you want to create process/action goals. But the first thing you want to do before you do any of that is you want to ask yourself it's the Dan Sullivan question. And the Dan Sullivan question is, what needs to happen in order for whatever it is that you're trying to do for you to consider it a success. So in this case, if we're talking about 2018, think about, in December of next year or even New Year's Eve, like looking back on 2018, what do you need to accomplish in your business or in your life for you to consider 2018 a success? So what needs to happen? And a lot of times we'll have our clients come in and their main vision or their goal is, I want to lose 45 pounds or I want to get back into a size whatever. And that's like their goal. And really, that's not really a goal, in my opinion. It's more of a vision, because in their head, they visualize that at that weight or at that size, they'll be happy. They'll feel good about themselves. They won't be insecure. All the problems are going to go away. But that they could achieve that at 25 pounds or at 55 pounds. They don't really know. But in their head, their vision is 40 or 45 pounds, whatever they tell you when they come in. It's kind of the same thing in your business. Like when I have coaching clients, for boot camps, personal training and whatnot, a lot of times they'll be at like $6,000 a month EFT or $10,000 a month EFT. And, they'll say, I just need to get to $20,000 in EFT and then, everything will be great. Well, it won't, because once you get there, you're going to have new goals, bigger things you want to accomplish, probably going to have more overhead. It's not going to be exactly how you thought it up in your head, but it's good to have a vision. It's good to have if you want to call it a long-term, goal. So the first thing you want to do is create your vision for your business. And you can create a really big one, like 2 to 3 years, or you can do, a 2 to 3 year vision. And since we're talking about 2018, you can do your 2018 vision. And it could be to have 3 locations. It could be to doing a certain amount of money per, EFT. It could be to help a certain amount, a certain number of people, so a certain number of members, whatever you want your vision to be. That's where you're going to start and really just create that vision, create what you want your business to look like ideally at the end of 2018. Now remember, most people, they overestimate what they can accomplish in a year. So I'll see a lot of people with their 2018 vision at the end being like this huge thing. And then when they're like 3 months, 6 months into it, they realize there's no way that they're going to make it, and they really get let down and start going downhill. So that's why it's important, after you create your vision, to work backwards and create processes and action goals or action steps to moving closer to that vision. And then you can see if it's actually going to, be feasible to reach that by that timeline. Because a lot of times you'll have clients say, I want to lose 30 pounds in, 3 weeks. And you're like, yeah, hold on, it's impossible. Even if you didn't eat a thing and you worked out for 5 hours a day, you're still not going to lose 30 pounds, in 3 weeks. So it's kind of the same thing, in business, is a lot of people tend to overestimate what they can do in 1 year, but they underestimate what they can do in 10. I think back, it's 2018, so 10 years ago would be 2008. I had my business, my offline business in 2008, but I wasn't doing anything online, didn't really know anything about online marketing. So it's only been since 2009. So it's only been 8 years or 9 years since I've been online and doing online marketing. And from where I started to where I am now, I never would have thought I would even end up where I am now, 9 years ago. With that first year, I remember like thinking I was going to do all this stuff online and it didn't happen, but I did make some progress. And that's what it's really about. It's about making progress, moving forward, and getting closer and closer to your vision, to your ultimate goal. So you want to create that end of year vision. Ask yourself what needs to happen at the end of 2018 for you to consider the year a success. And after that, you're going to come back and you're going to create process goals. So we're going to create a 90-day process goal or quarterly. So it'll be quarter one. So you're going to ask yourself the same thing. What needs to happen at the end of that first quarter for you to be on pace to reach that, year goal. So a lot of times you're not going to be 25% of the way there because it's more of a compounding effect. If you get 15% of the way there, you're probably doing really, really well. Because it's not going to go 25% the first quarter, halfway there by the 6-month mark, 3/4 of the way there at the end of the third quarter, and then hitting it. It's probably going to go more like 10% of the way there, and then like 40% of the way there, and then 70% of the way there, and then finishing it off the end of the year. It's going to be a compounding effect, and it's going to keep growing, as you gain momentum throughout the year. But you want to create, the 90-day goal, and then create some process or action steps that you need to take to get there. So once you have that 90-day, goal, what needs to happen, then you're going to back down to 30 days. Where do you need to be in 30 days? And then from there, you're going to do 7 days, and then 24 hours. So this is where it gets really interesting. Is you have the 90-day, you have your main vision, and then where do you need to be in 3 months to feel pretty good that you're still going to hit that at the end of the year? And then now you have to divide that by 3, and where do you need to be in 30 days? It starts putting the pressure on. You're like, oh man. But it also starts letting you realize that it's actually doable and that you can actually, accomplish this. And you create those 30-day goals. Now, when you have what you want the result to be, then you need to come down and commit to the process or commit to the action. So commit to taking action because that's really all you have control over. So like with our fat loss clients, if we talk them down from 30 pounds in 3 weeks to just 3 pounds a week, and then so at the end of that month, their goal is really going to be 12. So the 30 days will be 12 pounds. Now the action that we tell them to take that they can actually have control over is you need to work out 4 to 5 times a week or come to boot camp or personal training sessions 4 to 5 times a week, and then follow this meal plan at least 80% of the time. They can commit to that. Now, whether that equates to 3 pounds a week or 12 pounds at the end of 30 days, who knows? But that's why you monitor the results, on a weekly basis based off the action that you committed to. Because that's really, again, that's all you have control over is the process or the action. So you decide what you feel the action needed to reach, the goal is. Start taking the action and then start keeping track of the results, and then you can start to see if you're going to be on track to meet it. And if you're not on track to meet that goal, then you have to ask yourself, am I willing to do more, or am I okay with pushing that back a little bit? Sometimes you might not be okay with pushing more because you might get burnt out, might take away from your family, you might have to give up things that you value as far as like family time or some of your hobbies, stuff like that, and you might not be willing to do that. It's okay to push those goals back a little bit as long as you're still seeing progress, still moving forward. It's totally fine. Or if you feel like you have some more to give and you want to give more to try to get back on track, that is totally okay as well. So then you want to figure out what actions you need to take in the next 7 days. And then who do you need to meet with? Who do you need to talk to? What resources do you need to get? What do you need to do to get prepared in the next 24 hours to make sure you hit that 7-day goal? Because if you can't hit the 7-day goal, you're never going to hit the 30. If you can't hit the 30, you're never going to hit the 90, and so forth when it comes to the end of the year next year. But recycle this every 90 days, and that's going to lead into the next topic. If you guys have any questions about creating your goals or your vision for 2018, creating your 90-day, your first quarter goal, and then you want to redo that again. So once you get to the 90 days, you want to do another 90-day for your second quarter, third quarter, fourth quarter. Repeat this whole process every time you go through it. So if you have any questions, go ahead and leave them in the comment section below. If I don't get a chance to answer right now, I will do so later or maybe on the next Ask Jeff show. But this is the framework that you want to create your goals and your vision for this year. And by following this process, it'll ensure that you actually reach it or at least make a lot more progress than you would otherwise by just having one big goal and then starting to do stuff and hopefully that it works. Think about it like this. if, I'm sure either yourself or you have a friend or a client who has done this, and they it's New Year's, they want to lose weight like everybody else. They go buy a gym membership, and then they go in and they have access to the whole gym. They get on the treadmill and they just run for a while because they see other people doing it. They get on the machines and they start, using the machines, and they just go around a little circuit and then they're done. Next day, they come in and do the same thing, and they just do a bunch of stuff that they think is good, and then they hope that they get the result they want. And that's exactly what you don't want to do. You want it to be much more measurable, much more strategic, and create the process and the action that you're willing to take, and then see what the results are, and then adjust along the way. So, and that's on a 90-day. So every 90 days you're going to do that. And our marketing calendar, which by now hopefully most of you already have your marketing calendar set, but you want to work your marketing calendar around a 90-day rotating calendar as well. So 90-day marketing calendar. So the reason we do 90 days is because that way you're not locked in for a whole year. So if something's working or not working, you have room to adjust. So you want to figure out what your promotions are going to be. So your promotions can be like your low barrier offers, to get people in, to upsell them to your regular memberships. So you want to know what your promotions are, and then since everybody and their mother are now using low barrier offers and funnels straight to the timeline, and every time anybody in your local market goes on Facebook, they're seeing an offer from you or one of your competitors on the timeline. You want to take this a step further and figure out what kind of content do you want to create. So the content that you're going to create to get them in the right frame of mind and prep them for the low barrier offer, because then you're going to create that content, create those videos, and then promote your offers to the people that consume the content. So you want to map that out for 90 days. A lot of people do one promotion a month, but when you do the content first, these promotions can actually last longer. So like the New Year's Revolution, which is what 90% of you guys are probably running right now, it's too late. You're getting ready to launch it in probably next week or so. So the content, you could squeeze some content in before, but really you should have been doing this from before Christmas up until now. So I would start looking for the next one after the New Year's Revolution, what you're going to go into, what kind of content you're going to create, what your next promo is going to be, and try to get ahead of the curve that way. So if you launch it in the middle of January, then as soon as you launch it, you're not taking anybody else into the program. You're going to need something else to sell. So be thinking of your post New Year's Revolution funnel or promo. And it can be evergreen because there really isn't a ton of holidays or things coming up until really about spring break that you can run a bigger promo. So I like the 21-day rapid fat loss program or something like that just gets them in quick, turns them into long-term paying clients the fastest. It could be the 14-day fat furnace. And again, hide it behind content. So after you launch your New Year's Revolution, go right into just a 2-week trial with the 14-day fat furnace. You could do the 3 free sessions, something like that. Would be good to get you between February and April, and then going towards the end of April, that's when you start promoting getting ready for summer. It could be a summer slim down, something like that. So do the 14-day or 21-day, something to get them in and convert quick. And then again, figuring out what your content's going to be to get them in the right frame of mind and prep them for coming in for one of those offers. And then after that, then we're looking at summertime, so it could be some kind of summer slim down or a bikini body challenge or something like that, because people are going to be starting to think oh man, got to get in shape for summer, it's coming up quick. So they're going to be in that kind of mindset, that kind of mind frame. And that would be your 90-day, marketing calendar, but really just being strategic about what kind of content, what kind of videos, to create a whole production schedule on what you want to talk about that is going to inadvertently promote the 14-day, the 21-day, or the summer slim down program. And then based on the results that you're getting, you can extend those to the next month, or you'll have your next 90-day calendar already mapped out, planned, ready to go. You don't really need to map out the entire year's worth of marketing, because something might come up that you see other people are doing that it's working. And if you already have your entire year planned out, it's gonna be harder to squeeze that in. So after end of January, you should have February, March, April. And then at the end of February, you should have March, April, May. So just keep adding that extra month onto there. So you're 90 days ahead of yourself already, and you're getting the content out that you need to start building the custom audience, start getting them in the right mindset, start getting them to know, like, and trust you. So when you do promote the promotions, they're ready to buy. And that's how we work off of our 90-day, marketing calendar and stay ahead of the curve as far as the content goes and the promos go. And then the last thing I've been getting a lot of questions about is just like, what else can I do, to really ramp it up in 2018? I really want to crush 2018. What can I do to stand out, make myself look different, just really expand my reach and all that good stuff. So we always talk about Facebook a lot. You guys know what to do on Facebook. Just have to go out there and do it. Produce the content, get your offers out there, and automate that process. Whether you're using an in-house advertising person or if you're using somebody like Fitness Marketer, it's not a good use of your time to sit behind a computer. A good use of your time is really to be the face of your company and get out there and network with other influencers in your area. So that's the one thing I tell people is stop doing sitting behind the computer, and you want to network with other influencers. Just like online, you have local influencers as well. These could be other business owners, it could be radio personalities, it could be ministers, it could be anybody that has a following or has reach in your area. It could be like Chamber of Commerce, it could be like a networking group. There's all kinds of things that you can do to get out there and network with other influencers. And what you want to do when you go to network with other influencers is go with a giving hand. Because when you go to these events and you talk to these people and you start telling them how they can benefit from you, it doesn't really go off that well. Like, hey, I had this great promotion. If you want to, give it to your people or whatever. Because most people only care about growing their business or growing their following and vice versa. So if you go in there saying, hey, I have a great idea how I can help you grow your following, it works off much better. And then they feel the obligation to repay you and either send out a promotion or mention you on their Instagram or whatever. So always go in with the giving hand when you're trying to network with other influencers. That's going to be the biggest thing. The other thing is if you are going to ask, try to have some kind of like charity backed or mission based promo, because you got to give them something that they can get behind. If it's just like hey, you want to mail out for my 21-day program, some people might do that once you get a really good relationship with them, but it's going to be hard for somebody that you just met to just mail out for a 21-day program for you to help you grow your business and really nothing in it for them. You get unless make a couple bucks or whatever, but a lot of them, if they're doing well, they're not going to see a couple $1,000s or whatever as a huge benefit compared to hurting or taking away from their brand or their image or whatever. But if it's a charity-based or mission-based, it makes it much easier. I remember it was like 2011, Men's Health declared Baltimore like the 7th fattest city in the U.S. So I created a campaign or a mission that it was my mission to get Baltimore out of the top 10 fattest cities, and I couldn't do it alone, so I needed their help. And I created like a Fit Body at Home DVD that I was giving away for free, just pay for shipping. And when I was on the radio talking about it, they gave the website. By the time I got home, we had like 200 and some orders for the free DVD. It was really easy for them to let me promote that on air because it was mission-based. Men's Health, which everybody recognizes, as a company or as a brand, said that I didn't make that up. Men's Health said that Baltimore was number 7. It was in the top 10 fattest cities in the U.S. So it was easy for the radio station to get behind that as well. If it's a charity, we just had Thanksgiving and Christmas, so Toys for Tots and any kind of food drive, any kind of soup kitchens, that kind of stuff worked well then. But it still works even after the holidays and stuff. It's actually when the charities need money the most. During the holidays is when they get the most money. So I would do a charity thing at least one a quarter, if not every other month. And it's easy to get the influencers that are local to back you. When you're looking for local influencers, you want to look for ones that have a big following, obviously, but ones that cater to a similar, clientele with a non-competing product or service. That's going to make it a lot easier for them to work with you. So look for similar clients and non-competing. So in fitness, it's pretty easy. Anywhere there's parents or moms, so gymnastics centers, karate studios, daycare centers, laser tag places, anything like that is going to be a good place to look for influencers. Churches, ministers are always good. Any kind of like radio personality or local celebrities are good. When it comes to charities, it doesn't have to be your own charity. So if there's any like NFL players in your area that are doing a charity event, go to that event and try to help them raise money for their charity. And a lot of times it's not the actual professional athlete, it's their wife who is in charge of their foundation or their charity. So when everybody else is standing in line to meet the person to get their football signed or jersey signed, you go up there with nothing, just thank them for what they're doing, tell them you love the charity that they're helping out, and that they're doing a great service or thing in your city, and that you want to know how you can help and how you can donate some more money, for their cause. And they'll usually point you over to the side, hey, go over there and talk to her. That's my wife. She runs that stuff. Let her know, how much you want to give or what you have going on. Then you go over to their wife and introduce yourself and say, hey, I love what you guys are doing. I own a fitness boot camp and I want to be able to raise some money and donate some money to your cause to help you guys out. And then you can work out some kind of charity boot camp for the influencer's charity, not even your own. So that's another thing that you can do. But this is the one thing that I see, a lot of people missing. And before before it was so easy to advertise on Facebook, this was like one of the main ways that I grew my business was by networking and working with other influencers, people that already took the time to build an audience, already took the time to build a clientele base, and they're just willing to share that with you because you're going in with a giving hand, you're going in with a charity or mission-backed, offer. You looked for influencers that had similar clients that was non-competing. Some other things you can do with influencers too, I just totally forgot, is like a joint, kind of a joint venture, but more of like a workshop. So if you have like a chiropractor, a massage therapist, somebody that, again, non-competing, but something that your clients could benefit from the information that they're going to give, and their clients could benefit from the information you're going to give, they can mail out for the workshop, you can mail out for the workshop, you both make an offer at the end, and you can do that as well. But again, this is one of the main things I see people missing, and if you can focus on this, just commit to finding 3 influencers or 3 other businesses that you can really develop a relationship with and help them grow their business, and you'll see how it's going to help you grow yours significantly faster than just Facebook ads alone, because one email that's totally free can bring in over 100 people into your program. So commit to finding 3 influencers or 3 other businesses and really start developing those relationships by the end of the first quarter. So it's only one person a month that you need to find. Take them out to coffee, take them out to lunch, get to know them, and you're going to see how this is going to impact your business in a big way in 2018. And the other thing that a lot of you guys are missing that I've been talking about a lot over the last, 6 months or so is really just creating the content. You guys still want to take shortcuts and just blast your timeline with your low barrier offers. By putting the content out there, it does a lot of things. So for one, to do content marketing, another thing that's missing that you need to focus on in 2018 to set yourself apart. One, it's going to build authority. Once you have authority, you can sell anything to anyone. Everybody's going to listen to you. So even people that aren't coming into your programs, if they're watching your videos and people are out and somebody has a question at when they're out to dinner about fitness or whatever, and they heard the answer on one of your videos, like, oh, I heard you're supposed to do this, this, and this. They're like, oh yeah, where'd you hear that? And they heard it from XYZ trainer. Now that authority is spreading through your content marketing, through your videos, and it's going to make everything else you do, just convert that much better. And so with authority, you're going to get the know, like, trust factor. So by putting out the content and people starting to see your content, relate with you, start connecting with you through your videos, you're going to create that know, like, and trust factor. I mean, none of this stuff is new. This is the same stuff we used to do with email marketing, from day one. This is just a different channel. Facebook is just another channel. You should treat your audience the same way as you do your email list, just giving them good content, sharing your stories, sharing things that happen to you in your life and lessons that you learn, with them, through your content marketing, through your videos, through your articles, and you're going to build that know, like, and trust factor, which is going to help when they see your offers for them to actually take action and come in for your low barrier offers. And then 3, the other thing with content marketing, it makes it easy to work with influencers. So it makes it easier to do what I was just talking about. So what you can do for content to make it easier to work with influencers is you can actually go to those influencers and just interview them, and that gives you content, and it also promotes them, gets their name out there, starts building that relationship with them, but also it just, you can repurpose that to build a know, like, and trust factor, to build the authority. I used to interview like hairstylists, chiropractors. We had like a Smoothie King, the owner of the Smoothie King. And I would actually get those videos to rank on YouTube for that industry's keywords, and people would see those videos in that industry, and then they would, it'd be on my channel with my link and all that stuff, and they would come and find out about me and my business through, the hair salon industry, or through the chiropractor industry or massage therapy industry, because I was creating content with those influencers in that industry, and then getting those videos to rank for those keywords. So. It's going to build authority, it's going to build the know, like, and trust factor, and it's going to make it easier to work with those influencers, and it's going to make everything else you do convert that much better. So all this stuff, one of them at a time, may not make that big of an impact, in your business, but these are what I like to call like force multipliers. The more of these, that you can do, it's going to have a compound effect on your business. If you just do one, may help a little bit, but you do all of it, and over time, you're going to just keep seeing it build and build and build. I've seen it in my own business, my own online business. In 2017, I really focused on content, and I would say about 6 months after creating lots of content is when I really started seeing the results. Every event that I would go to, even people that not in the fitness industry would come up to me and tell me about how they've been watching my shows and how they like the content, for me to keep it up, and I'm doing a great job. So the word really started spreading, and it really was about 6 months of just having my head down and just keep putting out content before I really started seeing the power of it. So just put it out there and don't expect anything, and then you'll just start noticing it, and you'll see that compound effect and seeing your business grow. So to recap, don't create one big goal, just throwing a number out there like I want to have like 30,000 EFT by the end of the year. You can have that as a vision, and then work backwards to create the process and action goals that you need to do on a regular basis, daily basis, weekly basis, measure it weekly, and then adjust whether you need to do more or less, or adjust your goal, and create the process, create the actions that you need to take. That's going to help you get closer and closer to your vision by the end of the year. And then the second thing is having that 90-day marketing calendar. You don't have to plan out the whole year. You can just have the first quarter planned out, figure out what kind of content you want to create to promote whatever offers that you're going to have, create that production schedule. All that becomes part of your process to reaching those goals. Like, how many videos do I need to create such a certain size audience? What size audience do I need to create to get a certain amount of people to come in for a low barrier offer? How many people do I need to get to come in for that low barrier offer to upsell to so many new members per month? And you'll be able to get those numbers. And once you have that, you'll be able to dial it all in and really keep making big steps towards your big vision for the year. And then just as far as putting all of that, pouring gasoline on all those strategies, remember, seek out 3 influencers in the next 90 days and start building relationships with them, and coming up with some kind of joint venture, to be able to do with them, promoting their business, promoting, and then them promoting yours. And the last thing is, if you haven't been doing any kind of content marketing, you have to do that this year to really set yourself apart, build that authority, build that know, like, and trust factor, and just make it easy for people to work with you. Follow those 3 things, and you are going to have the best year yet. And if you have any questions, again, just leave them in the comment section below. If not, I will see you next week.